Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together.
Hello crafter and welcome back to my craft room. This is card 2 using the Love from Lizi December 2022 card kit, and rather than doing one video with all 10 cards, we're putting out a video each day over the next 10 days. So I've already made card number 1 and the link to that is down in the description if you're interested in watching it. This is card 2, and for this one we are going to use the dies that come in the kit. They are really beautiful dies. You get an outline die, and then this die here will cut into your cardstock. It just cuts out the little pieces, and I have that done here using the outline die as well as this bigger piece inside. If you use the outline die on its own, you will get a heart shape like this. And like I said, if you use this inner die here, it'll just cut out the heart shape into your card. It won't actually cut the heart out itself. So you need the two pieces to make the white heart shape that I have here. I'm also going to use this larger piece, this larger die, and I'm going to have it on a white piece of cardstock so you'll see through to the red just like we have done there. But that's to come. Let's have a look at all the pieces that we'll need for this card. So I have a piece of cardstock here, and this piece measures 11.5 by 5. I have scored it here at 2.25 and 4.5, and that will give us 2 fold lines. So we can fold this piece over like so, and then this piece back. This is going to give us a Z-fold card base. So when this is folded flat, we'll have a 7 by 5 card, which we can then pop into an envelope. So next I have 2 pieces of white cardstock to go here. These 2 pieces measure 2 by 4.75, and they'll sit on here like so. I also have this piece of cardstock in white, and this measures 6.75 by 4.75. This is the piece that we're going to use our large die to die cut into. So if I just show you here, we're going to pop that on this piece like so and die cut it out. So all we'll get is the little openings here, but we'll see through to the red card underneath. Next, I have some patterned paper. I've used just one sheet of the patterned paper. So I have this piece here. It measures 1.75 by 4.5, and that piece will sit on this side. I don't have a piece of pattern paper for this, but I don't think you need it. So I have this piece, which is a scrap which was left over from the full sheet that I used, and you'll see why in a minute. This piece measures, I think it's 3/4 of an inch. No, it's 1 inch by 4.5, and that is going to sit here like so. And then we'll have our die cut out heart image here. I also have another couple of pieces. This piece of red cardstock measures 6 by 4. I have a white piece then that measures 5.5 by 3.5. And then I have this piece of pattern paper, and again these 3 pieces came from the one sheet of pattern paper, and this piece measures 5 by 3. Had to look at my notes there. So this is going to sit on here like so, and that will be on the middle of our card like that. Perfect. Now I've taken one of the lovely floral ephemera pieces, and I'm going to pop that onto my card. I'll pop it, I haven't really decided which way I want it, but I may do it something like that. You'll see for a finish how I do it. I may pop it on like that. I haven't decided yet, but what I've done is I've taken this winter stamp. Now in our stash we got, or in our kit I should say, we got some stamps and dies, and I'm just looking for them here. If you could see what's going on around the rest of my desk. you'd be like, whoa, yeah, it's a mess. So these are the stamps that we got in the kit, and I have taken the winter one and I have stamped it down, but I haven't added the snowflake because I want it to kind of look as if it's the writing is coming from underneath our little piece of ephemera. I'm also going to take this love stamp and do the same. So I'll probably have the snowflake about here and then the love coming out here, because this winter card or Christmas card is for my hubby. Now I know he watches my videos, so yeah, he's gonna know in advance, but I will give it to him once I have the card made. But it's for him, and it's something different rather than the happy Christmas to my partner, etc. I just thought I would make this. It's kind of in the Valentine colors, but I think my pinks and dark pinks go well with the winter red. So that's all the bits and pieces that we need. Let's go ahead now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my love down here first. And I'm going to use my Misty to do that because I want to make sure I get my placement right. I'm also going to add a little bit of foam tape behind this ephemera piece, so it'll give a bit of dimension. With the smaller heart that I have here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm just going to cover one of the roses. Now you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I want to pull in the smaller heart that has been die cut out to the bigger one that's going to be die cut out of our white cardstock under here. So that's what we're going to do. First, we're going to stamp our love, and then we're going to die cut out our larger heart. So let's go ahead and do that next. So I have my piece situated into my Misty, and I have my stamp put down there. I wanted the love just coming before the winter there. So I'm happy with my placement here of my stamp, and I'm going to use, this is some red ink that I have in my stash. So whatever ink you have, you can use. So I'm going to add some ink to my love word, but I'm going to be very careful that I don't get any ink on the little snowflake there. And once I'm happy with that, then I can go ahead and stamp that down. Now this is a water reactive ink, so it may need a second stamping. We'll have a look now. That looks really, really good. I think I'll just give it another little inking up, just because I can, and it'll darken up that red. Now it does look a little lighter here. That's only because it's freshly inked. I did this one earlier, so it has darkened a little bit once it has dried. But I'm delighted with that. I think that looks lovely. So we can pop this away, and now we can focus on doing our die cutting for our large sheet here. So I'll leave that to dry and do my best not to touch it and smear it, or I'll be trying to hide and cover that up. So I'm just going to look at my placement. I know I'm going to want this here, and then I want my heart in here. So I want to make sure that I have the same kind of border around the three sides there. We do have our large piece that's going to go over it. So I'm just going to do my best to make sure it's nice and centered. Now, if you're unsure, you can bring in your card base, pop your white sheet down on it, and put it where it's basically going to sit on your card. We'll have our little strip here for embellishment, and then we'll have this piece here. Now I can bring in this piece and just make sure once that's on the card. Now you can see the bottom here, but there is nothing. If you look, I have a gap here at the bottom, so it won't die cut anything out there, and it won't die cut around the edge. It'll just cut out the pieces, so it allows me a little bit of, you know, wiggle room there. So I don't mind if the top of my die is popping out like that, or the bottom. So once I'm kind of happy with my positioning, I can see that my heart is basically going to be hidden when the card is closed. And I think I'm happy with that. So what I can do is lift that up, add a little bit of washi tape to my heart, and I have just a little bit that I used on a previous project. And now I can take this piece away and die cut out my heart. So I'm going to do that next. So I have my heart now die cut out, and you can see all the bits that are going to pop out. I'll make sure my washi tape comes away nicely without leaving any marks. So I'll just peel that back on itself there. Lovely. And you can see all the little pieces came through. Now I do have a precision chrome plate on my Big Shot, and I have to say it just does a lovely job. Let's pop all the rest of these out.
So I'm speeding this bit up now. There's no point in sitting here watching me getting them all out, but I wanted you to see how easy it is to get them out.
Now you can see all my bits there fell out beautifully from that, and it gave us a lovely result. Isn't that gorgeous? I just think that's beautiful. And with my piece along the side here, I can just write for my hubby with love and Simone. Doesn't need much on it. It's a personal card for him. So I'm delighted with that. I love how that looks. I mean, the things you can do with that die is fabulous. Straight away, shaker comes to mind. You know, you could raise up the back with foam, and you could add some sequins in there if you wanted. But for this, I'm just going to keep it simple. I know that's what my hubby likes. That's the kind of style he likes. So I'm going to go ahead now and start assembling the card, adding all our mats and layers to it. So to add my mats and layers, I'm going to use my Kalal glue. I find this construction glue is really good. When it dries nice and stiff and hard, and that way it gives strength to our card. So I'm just going to add that now to this piece and glue that down.
So let's speed through gluing down all our mats and layers. And I just want to give you the option again. I put one piece of 6 3/4 by 4 3/4 white cardstock in the measurements down below. You can cut 2 of these and add the second one to the back of your card if you'd like to put your message to the recipient on the back there. Don't forget to add 2 of the peel-offs, just to kind of bring everything together as well. And I think that will make for a nice little addition to your card. So I'm adding some foam tape now to the back of my beautiful ephemera piece. And once I have that on there, then I'll be able to stick that down. Again, you can just glue this straight down if you're posting this. I'm adding lots of dimension because I'll be handing it to my husband. I'm also adding my smaller heart down here, but again, you don't need to do this if you don't want to. So now let's go ahead and put our panel on our card.
So I have my panel here ready, and I'm going to have it more or less up against my peel-offs here. And I'm very happy with the top and bottom, so I'm happy with the placement of that. Now I only want to put glue under here because this part is going to be off. So make sure when you're putting glue on this piece that you only put it where you need it to sit on here. So what I generally like to do is put my finger behind it so I have an idea, and then I'll take a pencil and just make a line there so I'll know not really to go past that point, and then I can add my glue or my tape or whatever you want to use, then you can put onto that. So now once I have my glue in place, I can then pop that back on there and I want it more or less even on the top and bottom there. Lovely. And I'll give that a minute now for the glue just to set or go off before I start faffing away with that. Now my glue has set and my card is ready, and I do love this. I think it looks so beautiful. When it's on the mantle or on a shelf, you'll get to see more or less all of the heart there, but it looks lovely here. I just really like it so much. And it sits up nicely too, you know. Now, if I had some little gems, I would embellish around this, but I was missing some gems out of my kit, but they're on the way. I should have them tomorrow in the post. Lizzie has popped them over to me. So I will embellish around this with some of the gems, and I will do that. Hopefully this video will go out today, so I will do that at a later state. But if you have some gems in your stash, you could embellish the gems with that. And it does sit up nicely. You know, it'll sit nicely. There is some weight here on it, but we have balanced it out by putting our ephemera, etc. on this side. So now that is card 2 using the lovely products that came in the December kit from Love From Lizi. And I just think this kit is really, really soft and pretty. And it doesn't just have to make winter cards or Christmas cards. You can make get well cards, just for you cards, birthday cards, whatever you like. Now, if you don't want to write on this panel, you can add another panel on the back and put your message there. But this is for my hubby, so I'm just going to put Love and Simone here for him, and he'll be quite happy with that. But yeah, so that's it. That is card number 2 of our 10 cards 1 kit that we're going to be doing over the next 10 days. And I hope you'll join me tomorrow for another card. Links to the products, etc. that we've used are down below. There's also links to Lizzie's Facebook group, as well as my Facebook group, Your Cards and Crafts. So make sure you have a look in the description down below for links and everything else you might need.
I'll leave you now with some pictures of the card we made, and I'll see you in card number 3. Bye for now.